Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tosif starting a new live stream. The time right now is 1:16 a.m. This is March the 2nd of 2026. So 2nd March 2026, 1:16 a.m., actually 1:17 a.m. right now. And my friends, I'm starting this live stream to talk about what we have been discussing um, since yesterday. Not just yesterday, but day before. Um, Tension in the region. The ongoing tension in the Middle East. The situation is ongoing. There's massive military operation going on in the Middle East. There's a lot of tension. There's travel disruption. And if you have been keeping track of what's going on in the Middle East and in the surrounding region, there's travel disruption, flight disruption, travelers. And we live in a world where people are traveling all the time. Okay, traveling by air all the time, planes going back and forth between continents. And because of the ongoing situation in the Middle East, because of, you know, um, the military action taking place, there's flight disruption. Travelers are facing a lot of difficulty. They're facing a lot of uncertainty. I mean, in short, there's chaos. There's chaos in the Middle East, and it's 24/7. It's happening 24/7. Every moment there's chaos. It's hard to keep up with all the updates. I decided to talk about a few points that I think are extremely important. But you know what? But by the time I complete this live stream, there's probably going to be some other breaking news that you'll hear about. And it's just not possible to keep track of everything that's going on. Actually, as I'm sitting here right now, I've got the TV right there. You can't see it, but I have the television right there in that direction, and the TV is on, and I got my remote right here, so I'm switching between different TV stations, just watching the different coverage. I'm looking at Fox News, I'm looking at CNN, I'm looking at MS Now, and then so I'm looking at the conservative network, the liberal. I mean, I'm keeping track of the coverage on different networks. And then I'm also getting updates from various voices on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Facebook. And I'm also seeing lots of different opinions out there, even among friends that I have, even among conservative friends that I have. People have different opinions. Okay, and people are sharing those opinions. Okay, and so it's just hard to keep up with all the updates because there's so much going on. Now, Operation Epic Fury is ongoing. The United States military has launched military operation against Iran. And I said this previously, and I'll say it again because this is important. This is important. So I'm going to repeat this because I want people to understand, and also because I believe in the power of prayer. We have to pray. We have to continue to pray for the U.S. military service members. Okay? Now, if you're a person of faith, and I've said this before, doesn't matter what religion you follow. Okay? It doesn't matter what religion you follow. If you believe in a God, if you believe in a creator, if you believe in a higher power, please pray to God so that our U.S. military service members can stay safe. They are putting their own lives at risk to serve the United States of America, to serve our country, to keep us Americans safe. So we have to pray for our U.S. military service members. I hope you are going to pray as I have been praying. My friends, the United States military has launched military operation against Iran, and Iran is fighting back. Iran is launching strikes against, U.S. assets in the region, U.S. military base. And also, Iran is launching strikes against our allies. We have many allies in the Middle East. I mean, you look at the Gulf states, all right? I'm not going to go through the list of all the allies we have around the world. You look at the Gulf states. We have allies, and so Iran is launching attacks against those allies that we have. And it's very sad. It's very, especially what I'm going to say to you now. This is really heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking, very unfortunate, very sad that we have lost 3 U.S. service members. That's according to the latest reports. We have lost 3 U.S. military service members. They have been killed in action. It's really heartbreaking. Just talking about it. Just talking about it during this live stream. Just thinking about the loss. Thinking about the families of the 3 U.S. military service members who have been killed in action. Think about their families. Think about their loved ones. And there are others. There are others who have been severely wounded. These are people who are serving our country, the United States of America, and they have been severely wounded. So our nation is grieving because we have lost 3 U.S. service members. And we are also praying for the recovery of the U.S. military service members who have been seriously wounded. So we should pray for them. We should pray for their recovery. My friends, it has been reported, as I've mentioned previously, not in this live stream, but a previous live stream, that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. Ayatollah Khamenei was killed along with 40 other senior members of the Iranian regime. And this is according to news reports. And I don't know how many of you saw this, but President Trump published a video talking about the ongoing military operation, and he talked about the loss of the 3 U.S. military service members. And we will continue to pray for the departed souls of these 3 service members, and we will continue to pray for their families and loved ones. Okay. So Americans are watching as the situation unfolds. Americans are watching, keeping track. I mean, as I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the screen now, and I can see that Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, said that um, U.S. has been granted access to two British military bases. Okay, so that's, I mean, I'm talking to you and I'm keeping an eye on the news. And over here on my laptop, I've got the X page pulled up. I'm refreshing that. I'm seeing all the updates. Um, and we're learning more and more every minute, every hour, every day. We're watching this situation. Okay, we are far away from the action. If you are in the United States, as I'm in Wisconsin. If you are in the United States, you are far away from the action that's taking place in the Middle East, but we are still affected by everything that happens. We may be physically far away from the Middle East, far, far away. You look at the world map, look at your position, what state you are in, look at where Middle East is. We're far away, but we are affected by everything that's happening in the Middle East and around the world. And right now, people are wondering what the impact of all of this is going to be on the market. Okay? There are investors looking at the market predictions. There are investors who are eagerly keeping track of all the market updates, and they're trying to decide what to do. Those who have invested a lot of money in the market. Big institutional giant traders, also small individual traders, everyone from people who invested maybe thousands in the market to those who have invested millions and millions and millions in the market. I mean, everyone's thinking, okay, what's going to happen? What will be the impact on the market? The market in general. And also the market for goods and services. I'm not just talking about the stock market. I'm also talking about the market for goods and services, the market for oil, the market, the energy market. Are we going to see a rise in energy prices? Are we going to see supply chain disruption? Are we going to see shortage of products on store shelves? I don't know the answer because there's no way to predict, but we have seen in the past that whenever something big happens at the global level, a lot of people panic. They rush to the stores. They pick up essentials that they need in their homes because everyone gets worried about, okay, am I going to get food? Am I going to get, clean water? Am I going to get, the basic essentials that you need in your kitchen, in your household? People have to put food on the table, right? People with kids, people who have small children, they think about baby formula. They think about, essentials for babies. Parents get very worried. Okay, so, people think about energy prices, gasoline price. People think about the stock market, and also the everyday products that we buy from stores, the products that are available on store shelves. And also, are we going to see longer transportation time? That also matters. If you are a business person, if you're a businessman, and maybe you are shipping products to other countries, or you are receiving raw materials from other countries, and you depend on transportation by water, by air. Whether you're an importer or an exporter, it's important that transportation methods remain smooth, whether you're shipping by air, shipping by water, ships. So are we going to see longer transportation times? Think about it. There's already flight disruption taking place. And my friends, the Middle East is a very important part of the world for energy, for international trade, and also for tourism. Also for tourism. The Middle East is a very, very popular destination for tourism. I mean, if you think about tourism, are you just thinking about, Mexico or Costa Rica? Are you just thinking about like, oh, people going to Switzerland? All right. I mean, yeah, I mean there are many tourist destinations in the world, but when you look at the Middle East, it's a very rich tourist destination. I mean, people go to Dubai and Abu Dhabi and whatever your budget may be. Maybe you've got a modest budget. Maybe you're looking to spend thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars on a luxurious vacation. All kinds of tourists. They go to Dubai, they go to Abu Dhabi. People go to Oman, people go to Qatar, which is, beautiful country. Saudi Arabia, beautiful country, so much to see. And so the Middle East is very popular. And yeah, they got oil, they got energy. So they are always engaged in trade with the rest of the world. So energy, international trade, tourism, the Middle East is a key region in the world. And as the name says, it's right in the middle. You look at the map of the world, you see where Middle East is located. I mean, it's Asia. The continent is Asia, but it's called Middle East because it has its own importance. Okay? But the Middle East is in Asia, all right? It's right next to Africa. Because, as soon as you're thinking about Egypt is right there. Egypt is in Africa. Okay? But other countries, the Middle East, it's in Asia. And Europe is also right there. So if the Middle East is impacted, then it'll impact Africa, it'll impact Europe, it'll impact the rest of Asia. And of course, whatever happens in the world will affect us, the American consumers, the American businesses. Whether you're consuming products produced overseas in other countries, whether you're a business selling products, whatever the case may be, you're a traveler, and your destination doesn't have to be, let's say you're a tourist, your destination doesn't have to be the Middle East. Let's say you're going to some other country in Asia, but you're going to be taking a flight that's going to go through the Middle East. And if there's disruption in that region, then you're impacted. So, my friends, whatever happens in the Middle East will impact Asia, Europe, Africa, and US, Australia, and the rest of the world. The Gulf nations are facing extremely serious challenges right now. Okay, talk about Bahrain, talk about Kuwait, talk about Qatar and the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. I mean, they are facing the impacts of this ongoing conflict, this war. There are reports, and I was just looking at, okay, all right, hold on a second. Looking at the television, it says escalation of conflict in Iran sees oil prices surge. Yeah. There's a reason why I am doing the live stream over here and not in my usual location. You can see the background's different because while doing this live stream, I wanted to have the TV on in front of me, and I'm looking at the television. It says breaking news. escalation of conflict in Iran, and oil price surge. Um, I don't. Oil price surge. We don't know how big of an increment in price it'll be by the time you're pumping gasoline at the station. So we'll have to wait and see. There will be some immediate impacts, and also there'll be some long-term impacts, and the long-term impacts will depend on how long this conflict goes on. Is it going to be a few days, a few weeks, months, more than a few months? We don't know. So I was talking about the Gulf nations. The Gulf nations are facing serious challenges right now. There are reports of explosions heard in Dubai, which is in the United Arab Emirates, and then Doha in Qatar, Manama in Bahrain. I mean, it's a very scary situation. No doubt about that. By the way, my friends, if you are tuning in and you're here for the first time, please make sure that you subscribe, um, and that helps you stay connected. Obviously, I see more and more people are coming in. I mean, when I started this live stream at 1:16 a.m. Central Time, which is 2:16 a.m. Eastern Time. I mean, I didn't know, like, okay, more than an hour past midnight in the Central Time Zone, more than 2 hours past midnight in the Eastern Time Zone. I'm starting this live stream at this hour. How many people are going to be tuning in? People are probably sleeping. Yeah, I mean, wrapping up Sunday, people are getting ready for Monday. It's going to be maybe a busy work week for most people, and I'm starting this live stream, and I had no idea how many people are going to be joining, but I said to myself, you know what? I need to do this live stream. There's so much going on. We need to talk about stuff. We need to talk about the updates, because everything that's happening in the Middle East will affect us. So we need to talk about it. I don't know if it's going to be just, a few dozen people joining me, maybe a few hundred, thousands, who knows? I'm going to start the live stream and see what happens. Okay, and those who can't watch this live, they can obviously watch the replay. So it's good to see that people are tuning in, and I'm kind of surprised to see so many people here, given the hour of the morning this is. But it also tells me that everyone is thinking about the Middle East right now, as I am. Okay, because it's going to affect us. It's going to affect us. So, my friends, I will also tell you, as you can already understand from the hat that I'm wearing, Make America Great Again, I have full confidence that President Trump is going to make the right decisions in this regard. Okay. I have full confidence, and different people have different viewpoints out there. You talk to the Democrats, they'll say something. You'll talk to the Republicans, they'll say something. And even within a party, there may be split opinions. There may be a variety of opinions. A lot of Republicans will, say one thing. A lot of some other Republicans may say something else. I mean, right now, you're going to see a division. Some people who are saying that the U.S. launched military action in Iran is the right decision. Those who will say it's the wrong decision. Okay? And, with any issue, there's going to be a split. No matter what President Trump decides to do, there will be people in support of his decisions. There'll be people against his decisions. And that's part of, everyday life. What I will tell you is that President Trump has a lot more information than we, the general people, have access to. He knows. He has the intelligence reports. He knows what's happening what the challenges are, what the threats are. And so I have full confidence that whatever decision Donald Trump is making, he's making the right decision. We have to trust him. There's a reason why we chose Donald Trump, why we put him in office, why we put him in the Oval Office, why he is the leader in the White House. There's a reason, okay? You select a leader, you have to trust the leader. Now, you can jump into conclusions. You can say, oh, I don't like this course of action, or, this is a wrong decision, so on and so forth. And there are people who are saying that. But you know what? I would say just give it some time. Give it some time. He's the commander in chief, Donald Trump. He's got the military, okay? That he is in charge of, the US military. He's got the intelligence, agencies working, providing him with information. He understands what the United States needs to do. And so just be patient, see what happens, give President Trump the opportunity to, to solve the problems. Okay? So regarding the Middle East, regarding the decision to launch military operation against Iran, I have complete confidence that whatever President Trump is going to be doing, he's going to do what's best for the United States. He's going to do what's best for our country, and in fact, what's best for the world, because we know that President Trump not only wants to see the United States as a prosperous country, but he wants to see peace around the world. Okay, that's why he's got the Board of Peace that he established by bringing world leaders together. So, my friends, once again, I will urge you that let's continue to pray for our U.S. military service members. Now, you may be wondering, and it's a legitimate question. You may be asking, okay, when will the military strikes end? When will this operation end? When will the tension subside? I don't have an answer for you. I don't have an answer for you. I don't know, okay? I wish I did, but I don't. But I'm counting on our president to make the right decision and to do what is best for the United States and the world. And that is what President Trump is trying to do. And, he's really trying to spread peace around the world. So let's be patient. Let's be patient. Do not jump into conclusions. Let's be patient. No one wants this war to spread. No one wants this to become a wider conflict. Reportedly, President Trump has said that the Iran operation could take 4 weeks or less. So 4 weeks would be a month or less. So that's the best information we have right now, straight from President Trump. So we're looking at maybe a month, maybe less. I will tell you one thing. It is not easy to maintain a strict timeline in situations like this, because there's too much of uncertainty. Too much of uncertainty. There may be some variables that you can sort of control, that you have some idea about. Maybe you can try to make some predictions about certain variables. But then there's a lot of uncertainty. There are things that are beyond our control. There are things that no matter how much you plan the whole thing, no matter how much you plan a course of action, there will be things that happen, things that come up that's beyond our control, that no one could have seen coming. So there's that big element of uncertainty. But then we have to hope for the best. And I hope that President Trump can proceed and do things according to his plan. And I hope that everything works out in the end, because the American people would like to see a quick resolution, and the American people want to see peace being achieved. By the way, my friends, stay here with me, because I am going to be answering your questions, hopefully. Meaningful questions. If you send me meaningful questions, serious questions about this issue, about this topic. Yeah, somebody just wrote, peace through strength. Absolutely. Peace through strength. Thank you. Whoever wrote that. I forgot to, the comment just disappeared because the live chat window is moving really fast. But anyway, whoever wrote that, peace through strength, thanks for writing that. I appreciate it. My friends, you may have heard about the Strait of Hormuz. Who has heard about the Strait of Hormuz? I'm assuming most people. I'm assuming everyone. But you can tell me, who has heard about the Strait of Hormuz? Victoria has heard about it. Okay. And I'm sure others have. Lawrence is saying MAGA, always the best. Thank you, Lawrence. Appreciate that very much. Strait of Hormuz. Tell me, who has heard about it? Well, Bill is here. Bill from Vegas. Hello, Bill. Thanks for being here, Bill. Bill from Vegas. All right. So, the Strait of Hormuz, this is a very, very crucial part of the Middle East. You look at the map of the Middle East. I'm going to pull that up right here. Sorry, I can't show that to you on the screen, but I'm going to look at the map of the Middle East, and you look at the Strait of Hormuz. If you are looking up the map of the world, the map of the Middle East, on your computer, zoom in and check out the Strait of Hormuz. You look at the Arabian Gulf, you look at the Gulf of Oman, and you look at the Strait of Hormuz. Okay? Very, very crucial part of the Middle East. And when you think of international oil transportation, when you think about energy, oil is energy. If you think about international oil transportation, you must talk about the Strait of Hormuz. There are fears right now. There are fears that the flow of ships through the Strait of Hormuz could be disrupted. The Strait of Hormuz. All eyes are on the Strait of Hormuz. The focus is on the Strait of Hormuz. People are paying attention to the Strait of Hormuz. Investors, businesses, everyone. Because the world depends on oil. We need energy. We need energy every day for everything. You're driving a vehicle, you need energy. You've got a household appliance that runs on electricity, that's energy. To produce electricity, you need fossil fuels. You have a factory, a manufacturing facility, where you have, I don't know, pick a number, 100 employees, 200 employees, working at a factory, getting paid by the hour, getting good benefits. People who are employed, earning a living, putting food on the table for their family. That factory, that assembly plant depends on energy. You need energy to run the machines. You need energy to produce the products. If you are a business that provides service, well, you have to keep the lights on and you need energy. And the world depends on fossil fuel. And so you talk about international oil transportation, you have to talk about the Strait of Hormuz. And there are fears that the flow of ships through the Strait of Hormuz could be disrupted if the ships carrying oil, giant tankers carrying oil, if they cannot go through the Strait of Hormuz, there would be immediate and also long-term impacts on the energy market. Price of oil would rise. Price of oil would rise, but by how much? If you ask me, Tosif, you got to give us a prediction. How much are we going to see the oil price rise? My friends, I don't have the answer. As I said, there are variables that you can sort of control and predict. There are variables that you can't. Too much of uncertainty. I don't know. That depends on how long this conflict will go on. Is it going to be days, weeks, months, or more? My friends, reportedly 1/3 of world's seaborne oil exports passed through what we call the Strait of Hormuz in the year 2025. I mean, you understand how important it is. By the way, my friends, it's good to see that there are 46 likes on this video. That means a lot of people appreciate the kind of discussion that we have here. We talk about social and political issues, both domestic and international, and it's, I'm grateful for your support. We discuss good news, we discuss things that make us worried, because we talk about current affairs. We talk about ongoing political situation in different parts of the world. We talk about social issues affecting our lives. We talk about domestic issues. We talk about international issues. We talk about energy, healthcare, education, transportation. We discuss a wide variety of things here. And so I appreciate the fact that you all have been supporting this channel, giving me the encouragement to continue doing these live streams, to continue answering your questions that you write in the live chat. Thank you so very much, my friends. 51 likes on this video. I hope the number goes up, and please subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you a penny. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. But when you do that, you are likely to get notifications about my future videos. And so you can tune in, you can stay connected. That's why it is important to like the video, my friends. Please do that. And subscribe. Appreciate it. It seems that the Dow is going to be falling. Let's see what it says on TV. I'm going to change the channel here. Hold on a second. I'm going to see what the different networks are covering. Stay here with me, my friends. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, still a lot of uncertainty. People are talking about the Strait of Hormuz. Hold on a second, my friends. I'm going to look up some information here. Okay, so I'm looking at Dow futures. Okay. By the way, any financial expert here? Any financial advisor, wealth manager? The financial advisors, the wealth managers are probably keeping track minute by minute of what's happening, what's going to happen when the market opens in the morning, the stock market. Anyway, I'm looking at some publicly available information here on the different news websites. Okay, very basic information. By the way, the financial experts, they know a lot more. They know a lot more. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing from the news. Dow futures drop more than 600 points as oil prices rise following you know, uh, the recent actions in the Middle East. Uh, so you look at the Dow futures, you look at S&P futures, Nasdaq futures. I mean, it's all in the red. Okay, oil price going up, um, and there are still several hours left before the stock market opens in the morning, and I know that the investors, the wealth managers, the financial advisors, uh, and folks who have an interest in tracking the trajectory of the markets and the different you know this index, that index, so on and so forth. They're going to have a busy day. They're going to have a busy day in the morning. Someone's asking me, are you American? Yes, I'm American. I'm an American, yes. I live in Wisconsin, if you know where that is. It's a state in the American Midwest, okay? One of the most amazing places where you can live peacefully in Wisconsin. There's a lot of peace. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's cold in the winter, but it's a very peaceful place. Very beautiful. Uh, okay. Uh, all right. Thank you all for being here. 58 likes on this video. That's awesome. I hope you are also subscribing. All the 58 people who hit the like button, if you would also subscribe, that'd be great. So yeah, I don't want to make any predictions about the market, the Dow. You can go and look at the different financial sites and get that information on your own. I just know there's too much of uncertainty, but I'll say this. I hope everything gets resolved fairly quickly. I hope that the tension subsides. I hope that the conflict comes to an end. I hope that we can find uh, a solution that will lead to lasting peace, everlasting peace um, in the Middle East. Now, one would hope that the conflict ends in matter of days, but as President Trump indicated, it might take 4 weeks or less. But still, we're probably looking at a few weeks, so let's be patient. Pray for the US military, pray for the world, and pray for peace. We need everlasting peace on earth, my friends. All right, so I feel like whatever I had to say, I did. And so now I'm going to try to answer your questions. If you have questions, you can ask me, and I'll try to answer. Let's see. Go ahead, ask me whatever questions you have. Actually, it's easier if I look at your comments in the um, on my laptop here. It's a bigger screen than my phone here. Someone's asking, are you American? Yes, I'm American. Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. Someone's asking, are you a citizen? Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. Absolutely. Oh, people are commenting about my jacket. Well, what's wrong with my jacket? Just because I'm wearing it inside the home? Nothing wrong with that. Someone's asking, were you born here? No, I was not born in the US. No, I was born outside the US. But I'm a naturalized US citizen. Someone's asking, where outside the US? I was born in Bangladesh, in South Asia, in Bangladesh. That's where I was born. That's where I was born and raised. Uh, a viewer is asking, what books have you written? If you go to my website, tossifanam.net, you'll find a list of the books that I've written. Okay. I appreciate you asking. Go to tossifanam.net. Here, let me give you the website address here. Uh, I'm gonna post it here so everyone can see. That's my website. Give me a second. I'm gonna pin that comment to the top of the chat screen. That's my website. You can see tossifanam.net. You can go and look at my books. Okay, someone's asking, what makes you think this will be over in weeks, right? Well, I'm reporting to you what President Trump said, that it's going to be 4 weeks or less. And I've also said that there are lots of unknown variables whenever you're looking at a situation like this. So, this may be over in a few weeks, may take longer. All I'm saying is that because we have elected Donald Trump, because we have trusted him, we have trusted him, we trust him. Okay, present tense, we trust him, which is why he's our commander in chief. So we have to have confidence. We have to give him time to basically continuously analyze this ongoing situation, uh, you know, evaluate and reevaluate the different variables and make decisions based on the present reality, or whatever new developments may happen. So let's give President Trump the chance. Let's be patient. Let's give him the opportunity to do what needs to be done. Okay. So is it going to be over in a few weeks? Hopefully. That's my hope, because I trust President Trump. But if it takes more than 4 weeks, is that a huge problem? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. So let's see what happens. And remember, we have a lot of allies in the Middle East. And President Trump has worked really hard to bring together world leaders to support, um, the promoting peace around the world. So whether you're talking about Saudi Arabia or Qatar, you're talking about Bahrain, and there are other countries. These are all allies, Gulf states, Middle Eastern countries, allies, who also trust President Trump and his leadership. So that's all I'm saying. Okay. Any more questions for me? Ask me meaningful questions, not, I mean, there are people who ask silly questions and, they're here to be trolls. Um, ask meaningful questions here. All right. 51 minutes into the live stream. Someone's asking, why are you doing this? You mean the live stream? Why am I doing this? Well, let me ask you, why are you watching this? I'm doing this because I care about the United States of America. This is my country. I love my country. And I care about the world. I want world peace. Okay? And it's, as I've said before, the path to peace is not a smooth one. There are barriers and roadblocks and hurdles and obstacles that you have to deal with. But, we have to be focused on achieving peace. And, I talk about social and political issues, domestic and international, on this channel, and there are people from all over the United States, in fact, all over the world, who tune in and have conversations with me. So that's why I'm doing this. And you are here, you're watching this, so I thank you for being a viewer. Thank you. Ed is saying, you're right, brother. Thank you, Ed. There are others who are saying, good work, brother. Thank you. Thanks for your support. Someone's saying I'm misinformed. Okay, if you think I'm misinformed, why don't you go ahead and share whatever information you think you want to share. Go ahead. If you think I'm misinformed, okay, go ahead and educate us. All right. Someone's saying just leave. Like, are you saying that to me? Just leave. Just leave and go where? This is my country. This is my home. You're saying just leave. I mean, if you don't like the discussion here, you could exit this stream and go watch something else, right? I mean, you always have the option of not watching this live stream. Swaggy is here. Swaggy, good to see your name pop up. That's our friend Colin from California, Los Angeles, right? LA? Is it LA? Los Angeles, Swaggy? I know California. I think it's Los Angeles. Um, Swaggy says, "Hey Tassif, good to see you, my brother." Swaggy, so good to see you. I'm so glad to see your name pop up. Thank you for being here. Colin from Los Angeles, joining us, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you. Well, we can talk about California. Got an important election coming up. The governor's race. It's heating up. It's interesting. We're going to talk about that. I have talked about it, and I will do so again to share updates. Not today, but very soon. And Swaggy is the one who came up with TTTT, which means Tassif tells the truth. So I will always be grateful for that. I always appreciate that. All right, let's see. Hold on a second here. Bill from Vegas is saying TTTT MAGA. Thank you so much, Bill. All right, so we're approaching the 60-minute time mark. Unless people have meaningful questions, I might wrap this up. Maybe not, right? Maybe not. Maybe we'll continue for a little longer. What do you think? Okay, ask me questions and we will continue the conversation here. All right. You know, I think we will be getting updates all night right now. I mean, if you think about it, the time right now in Tehran is 11:45 a.m. So it's getting close to noon in Tehran, in Iran. I mean, you know, Middle East, we have a significant time difference between us and the Middle East. And even here in the US, we have different time zones, right? I mean, our friend Swaggy is in the Pacific time zone. And here I am in the Central time zone. Some of you are here in the Eastern time zone. And so we have, depending on where in the US you are, no matter where in the US you are, we have a significant time difference between us and Iran and, you know, that region, that part of the world, the Middle East. And so, you know, it's right now it's 2:16 a.m. in Wisconsin. It's and the time in Iran, in Tehran, is 11:46 a.m. So while people sleep in the US, it's daytime, it's afternoon in Iran. So, you know, you can stay up all night and watch the news. You can stay up all night and check out the updates. And I mean, that's what I'm doing here right now. I'm switching between TV networks. It says, "Oh, war with Iran." So whatever you want to watch, you know, you want to watch CNN or MS Now, or you want to watch Fox News, Sky News, whatever. Um, you can do so. There will be updates throughout the night into the early hours of the morning and beyond. I mean, right now I'm watching. There's this, I think this is some foreign correspondent reporting from Dubai, and it says breaking news: there are blasts heard in Dubai, Doha, and Kuwait. Um, so, breaking news every hour, as I said, my friends. Okay, we have crossed the 1 hour time mark. I'll be here longer. I'll be here longer. Ask me questions and I'll answer. Okay, someone's asking me about the conflict between Pakistan and Afghanistan. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, honestly, I have not been able to keep track of all the updates regarding that conflict. It's a serious conflict. I mean, between Pakistan and Afghanistan right now, but I don't know all the details because I've been um, really focused on this issue in the Middle East. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I've seen news reports. I've heard of, you know, many people have been killed in that conflict. It's sad. It's a tragedy. Um, we need peace on Earth. But anyway, I don't have much to comment on the conflict between Pakistan and Afghanistan. I just hope the conflict ends. I hope that peace can prevail. All right. Okay, my friends. So I'm going to wrap up this live stream. Any more questions for me? Probably not. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Um, I'm going to be back again with more videos and more live stream. Even after wrapping up this live stream, I'm probably going to be watching news for a little longer. And let's pray for peace. Let's hope that peace can prevail. And I have full confidence. I'm going to say this again. I have full confidence in Donald Trump's ability to achieve peace. So I trust our commander in chief, and I'm very, very sure, very confident that whatever decision he takes, it's going to be the right decision. So Donald Trump, President Trump, has my support. Thank you so very much, my friends. May God bless you all. May God bless President Donald J. Trump. May God bless the Trump administration. May God bless the Republicans in Washington. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless our U.S. allies. And may God bless freedom-loving people all over the world. Thank you so very much, my friends. I'm gonna be back again very soon. Please subscribe if you have not done so yet. Please like this video, share this video. And if you have questions, if you have topics that you would like me to discuss in future live streams, you can go to my website and send me a message. Thank you so very much. Have a good night. I'll see you soon.